Well, it's time to end the 2-year tradition, my fellow viewers. That's right. Today is the last game of Broderbund Origin getting a Japanese release by a Japanese developer. We've hit the highs of stuff like Lode Runner, and then hit the murky territory with stuff like Spelunker. But now is the day we say goodbye to the original kings of the PC. Although they'll still be publishing games in the US for the NES that aren't their own. Our last game of Broderbund Origin is Choplifter from 1982, originally for the Apple II computer. Programmed by one Dan Gorlin. Upon its release, it received huge amounts of praise as a groundbreaking title, even calling it the first computer-assisted animated movie, thanks to its impressive animation, excellent control, and even made one reviewer feel something when they ended up killing one of the hostages you needed to save. One could expect Dan Gorlin to become programming legend after a monumentally huge game. Except it never ended up happening. Because working with Broderbund means being your own boss, he turned out to be a huge procrastinator, so his future games took a long time to come out. Eventually, when the Apple II became outdated by the end of the 80s, Gorlin found working with MS-DOS horribly limiting, so he pretty much quit the video game industry to work on his true passion in life, West African dance drumming. Didn't expect that, did you? He has a whole website dedicated to his dance club, and here he is teaching you about the aesthetics of it.
But just as an introduction, these are 3 of the drums from the Aoi family. This is called Sogo, this is called Kagang, and this is called Kiri. And there's a much bigger drum, a Chimavu, who is usually the master drummer of this kind of music. But
the last thing video game related he had any involvement with was Choplifter HD as a creative consultant. So we had fun talking about the PC original, but I kinda lied about it being a Broderbund game. Because this version of Choplifter is actually a port based off the 1985 arcade version done by Sega. And that's right, a Sega game on a Nintendo console. Expect that a lot more, surprisingly. This port was done by Tosei and Jalico, because obviously Sega wasn't going to do it themselves. They already did it on both the SG-1000 and the Master System consoles. Now, I don't have an opinion on how the original PC version played, but I played the arcade game, and it's actually a pretty good update to the Choplifter original, giving it more action. For a reimagining, if you will, Sega did a pretty good job. But the Tosei port is much worse. Much, much worse. One of the worst games I ever played, kinda bad. The one thing wrong with this game is that every second something is trying to kill you. There's no breathing time in this game. Some shot is always going to come out of nowhere and kill you. You die faster in this game than a game of I Wanna Be the Guy. I mean, there's no taking it slow in this game, nor taking it fast. It always feels like you're at the right angle for getting hit by everything and anything. Anything. This might be the first game that made me continuously throw my controller in frustration as I just tried to get through it. And it's not like it couldn't be translated into a console experience. Check out the Master System port. Sure, it's not the most exciting game in the world, but it kept me invested a lot more than this port did. So I guess you can chalk this one up as the original. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Yet another Tosei port that doesn't live up at all to the arcade original. Up there with Space Invaders and Jack and Pop. How cheap were these guys? Can't say I'd recommend this one, unless you really like dying a lot. And if you're that masochistic about yourself, then have fun.